Your credit card debt is destroying your retirement. Your kids are graduating college already drowning in plastic. Consumer spending drives 70% of the economy, but most of it is borrowed money people don't have. What if none of this existed? What if in 1958, when Bank of America launched the first general-purpose credit card, the government had said absolutely not and banned consumer lending for non-essential purchases? What would America look like today? First, let's be honest about what credit cards really are. They're predatory lending designed to extract maximum profit from people who don't understand compound interest. The industry makes $180 billion a year from fees and interest, money taken directly from working families. Without credit cards, Americans would live within their means. Revolutionary concept, right? You could only buy what you could afford, which would have completely changed consumer culture and the entire economy. Housing would be affordable because people couldn't leverage credit to bid up prices. Without easy credit, home prices would reflect actual incomes instead of how much debt people could take on. Your house would cost half what it does today. College would be affordable because students couldn't borrow unlimited amounts for tuition. Universities couldn't have raised prices 1,200% above inflation if students had to pay cash or work their way through school. Cars would be built to last instead of designed for planned obsolescence. Without car loans, people would demand vehicles that ran for decades, not the disposable junk we drive today that requires constant payments. The entire retail industry would be smaller but healthier. Stores would focus on selling quality products to customers who could actually pay, instead of pushing overpriced junk to debt-addicted consumers. Consumer culture would never have developed. Without easy credit, people would buy what they needed, not whatever marketers convinced them they wanted. The psychological manipulation industry would be much smaller. Personal savings rates would be massive. Instead of paying credit card companies 25% interest, people would save money and earn interest. Compound interest would work for families instead of against them. Impulse buying would be nearly impossible. You'd have to go home, think about purchases, save up money, and make deliberate decisions instead of swiping plastic for instant gratification. Small businesses would thrive because they wouldn't have to pay credit card processing fees that now consume 3 to 4% of every transaction. Those fees go straight to Wall Street instead of staying in local communities. But here's the part that will make you angry. You'd be much wealthier today. The average American household carries $600 in credit card debt at 22% interest. Over a lifetime, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars stolen by financial institutions. People would understand money again. Without abstract plastic transactions, spending real cash makes you think about every purchase. Digital payments have disconnected spending from actual money, making people financially irresponsible. The 2008 financial crisis would never have happened. Without easy consumer credit inflating bubbles, speculation would be limited to people with actual money. No subprime mortgages, no housing bubble, no economic collapse. Bankruptcy would be rare instead of a routine financial planning tool. Without the ability to accumulate massive unsecured debt, people would make sustainable financial decisions. The wealth gap would be smaller because credit cards primarily benefit rich people who pay them off monthly, while extracting wealth from poor people who carry balances. It's a system designed to make the poor poorer and the rich richer. Holiday spending would be reasonable. Christmas wouldn't require going into debt for months to buy stuff people don't need with money they don't have to impress people they don't like. Emergency funds would be normal instead of rare. Without credit as a false safety net, people would save for actual emergencies instead of assuming they could just charge unexpected expenses. But the economic growth would be slower and more sustainable. Consumer spending drives the economy, but spending borrowed money creates artificial demand that leads to boom and bust cycles. Retirement would be secure because people would save throughout their working years instead of spending their entire paychecks plus borrowed money. Social Security wouldn't be the only retirement plan for most Americans. Credit scores wouldn't exist because there would be no credit to score. Your financial worth would be measured by what you owned, not how much debt you could handle. Young adults would start their careers debt-free and savings-focused instead of drowning in credit card debt before they even understand compound interest. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Credit cards haven't made life better for ordinary Americans. They've created a nation of debtors who work primarily to pay interest to financial institutions. The economy would be smaller but healthier. Businesses would serve customers instead of debt slaves. Innovation would focus on making products better instead of making credit easier. Consumer protection wouldn't be necessary because predatory lending wouldn't exist. No fine print, no hidden fees, no debt traps designed to extract maximum profit from financial illiteracy. But we chose the convenience of borrowing over the security of saving. We traded financial independence for instant gratification and made banks incredibly wealthy in the process. Every month when you make minimum credit card payments, remember, this system was designed to keep you paying forever. A world without credit cards would be a world where families built wealth instead of paying interest. Would you trade credit card convenience for financial security? Could you live within your means if borrowing wasn't an option? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more financial alternate histories.